Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Armchair Pundits Weekend Review. How you doing, Liam?
Yeah, man, not too bad, not too bad. How about yourself? Sure, you're feeling good after the weekend's result, or feeling better than previous weekends.
Yeah, it's the first win at Anfield for a little while. Um, Much needed win. Didn't expect the scoreline in the order it came in, but yeah, can't lie. Happy to finally be on a winning trail again. Um, but yeah, so this week we will discuss the Liverpool Tottenham game. Then we'll go through Arsenal versus Bournemouth, then Man City versus Wolves, and then we'll finish with the Crystal Palace versus Man City game, Man United game. Sorry. So since I've done my 10, 15-minute talk on Liverpool already, and I know most of you would have watched it, it's time to hear the Tottenham side first of all. So, over to you, Leon.
To be honest with you, I'm getting tired of saying the same thing every week, and the same analysis is happening every week because all that's happening is the same thing time and time again. Poor defending, poor defending. When we don't have the ball, players not doing their job, players not tracking runners, players not working hard to win the ball back early enough. And yeah, right now looks as though Spurs tactics have been found out and there hasn't been a solution to fix the problem. We've conceded, I think, two goals a game every game since that Chelsea game that we lost at home 4-1. And since then we've just been abysmal. Obviously we had a little bit of an injury crisis. We got over that, recovered. But following that 4-0 victory against Villa away, we've basically gifted the top four spot back to Villa after that. And what seems to be sort of the common theme at the moment is that Ange is obviously sticking to his guns regarding a system, but our players don't seem to be adapting to in-game situations. Like Liverpool, we made it easy for you guys, and I knew we don't play well at Anfield. We very rarely play well at Anfield anyway, so I didn't really expect to get a win or anything like that. But I expected us to put a better performance than we had in the previous games, especially after the loss to Chelsea, which was just terrible. I thought we allowed Liverpool to dictate the game. We made it very easy for you to create chances, and we didn't really lay a glove on you in the first half. And obviously there was a second half rally, but I think that was more due to Liverpool making changes and your midfield pretty much being completely rejigged, and it just left your defense exposed. And we brought on a few more ball playing midfielders, which were able to utilize the space, especially when with Richarlison making good runs. But after that, I mean, by that point, it was too late. It was already 4-0 and the game was done. I think it was just Liverpool going through the motions because they knew the game was done and they knew that we wouldn't come back from 4 goals down, especially after last season when we came back from 3 down. So, I'm just tired, man. I'm done with this season with Tottenham. I can't wait for it to be over, to be honest with you. And that's how I felt last
Yeah,
season.
but last season was a lot earlier. You were done by like February last year.
Yeah, agreed. And to be honest with you, like I don't feel like there's a lot of Ange criticism at the moment.
Mm.
I feel like if we're gonna play this way, also well and good, but we need to figure out how to do better when we don't have the ball, and that is my biggest concern. It's been my concern since day one. We've always looked like we could score, but we even in the last few weeks, to be honest, that whole feeling of looking like we can score is dried up because we're missing chances and or not creating enough chances, especially in the first half against you in that whole Chelsea game. We were just poor, man. So yeah, we need to go back to the drawing board. I think Ange has already stated in his press conferences a couple of times now that he's learning about his players. He's learning who he thinks is going to be here in the future and who needs to go, and hopefully we back the manager, which is what we haven't done, which is so I don't really hold any real confidence that we're going to back the manager because we haven't proved that we would be prepared to do that in the past. And we've had top quality managers who've been renowned for winning trophies. Why would we do that with Ange? I hope that this whole changing of the guard, changing of the backroom staff is really about making us a better team, because as I said, we've had a lot of false promises in the past, and I just feel like we're going to be making the same mistakes over and over again. Manager wants a player, we don't get quite the player he wants. We'll get some other second-rate version of that player, and end up in the same position again next season.
That's fair. That's fair. But because I look at it, so do you think you've moved forward from last year?
I mean, we've moved forward by 2 positions at the moment, but I think we're on. I think we're on the same points that we finished with last season now,
Mm.
and we were on that. We were on these points 4 games ago because we've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
So it's mad because it was like, oh, we've already matched our tally from last year, and we had like 8 games left, and we're now down to 3, and we still on the same points.
Okay.
We've got Man City,
Oh.
we've got Burnley, Man City, and Sheffield United. So
Mm.
the City game, I can't see us winning. Part of me doesn't really want us to gift the title to Arsenal, but you don't want to just fold and get battered by
Mm.
City. To me, we have to go into that game and try to get something out of the game,
Yeah.
and then get our points against Sheffield United and Burnley. But yeah, it's poor, man. I think we gave Liverpool a nice little recovery win, if I'm being honest.
So for you, I think I asked you this earlier today, but if the season was in reverse, would you be happier? So obviously you started like a house on fire, and everyone was saying, not everyone, but there were people lauding the change. Even Gary Neville and people like that saying, "Look what he's come and done
Well,
straight away. Come and he's
everyone was.
changed the whole team. He's done it within 5 minutes." If you ended the season how you started it, and obviously started it how you're finishing, would you be a happier Spurs fan?
Um, I
On the
don't
same,
know.
obviously on the same points, and you,
It's difficult to say because at the start of the season, I said I can't see us finishing more than 6th or 7th. I was struggling to see us finishing higher than that because I didn't expect Man United and I didn't expect Chelsea to be so bad. So I had predicted that they would have done better. So the fact that they are behind us, along with Newcastle, didn't expect it. Having said that, would I have been? I think it's difficult to say whether I'd have felt differently because if the start was losing 4 in a row and or not getting a few wins or not getting any wins in the first few games, I think that would have been super poor. But because if you look at the quality of the fixtures that we had, we should have won those games. Whereas
fair, fair.
right now, we've obviously had the worst run of
That's
tough
outrageous. The run
games.
you've been given.
It's
That's
mad,
outrageous.
but at the same time, like it's not an excuse. You have to play those games at some point in the
Mm,
season, and we've not had any midweek games. We've literally played about 42 games this whole season,
mm.
which is nothing when you think about how many games a team playing in Europe has to play. It's mad. So, and I think I might even be over. I think I might have
You
even
ran you ran
miscalculated
up the
that because we
Carabao
got
Cup.
through the FA Cup third round. I think we went out in the fourth round, so we played. That's 39 games, and then we lost to Fulham.
In
And I
first
don't
round.
think we won the Carabao. I don't think we won a Carabao Cup game. So we might play 40 games this season. That's nothing, bro. Nothing. In the Championship, they play that plus FA Cup and League Cup games. So 1 game a week, no excuses, man. No excuses. We've had plenty of time to prepare, and all it shows is that we're not at that level to compete with those teams. And until we make the necessary signings, we're gonna end up having the same problem next season. So let's see if Ange gets what he wants.
That's fair. So I look at our game. No, I say look at our game. It was the same game, but I look at it and once again, loads of shots. Which 25 shots on goal, which is what we've been getting in general. But this time we actually managed to find the back of the net. Salah looked good. Salah looked motivated, as you expect after the nonsense of last week. Then Gakpo. who has had a really good end to the season and played really well through the middle. And Diaz, who again is actually been really good even through a bad spell. Okay, really good. He's been good through a bad spell without getting end product. So it was good to actually get the goals. Did I think we'll be 4-0 up that early? No. It surprised me. Obviously, we were sitting watching it together. And I thought before the game, I thought the 4-0 win, we're probably going to get a draw. The 4-0 win because I knew we were going to concede goals. And the way we've not been scoring them, I wasn't confident that we would start scoring them today in the amount that we needed. So happy in that regard that we got our goals, but obviously it's double-sided because disappointed that the way the game ended, with you guys being on top to a degree. Obviously, Nunes comes on and misses a big chance last minute, and then messes up a couple of other opportunities. But you get it with Nunes. He's always going to make an opportunity, whereas others won't. Um, so you take that into consideration, but at the same time, you want those goals. Like the last shot he had of the game, I've seen him. Obviously, confidence is low because he's not a horrible finisher. People will laugh and say, "How could you say that?" Looking at his stats, but as in before he came to Liverpool, you saw the games where he was through on goal, he slots it, he goes around the goalkeeper, he does stuff like that. All of a sudden, it's like the pressure of being at Liverpool has just got on top of him. Because through on goal, last second, you just go around the goalkeeper. Why are you trying to do a snapshot to lift it over him? It's almost like remember what Owen said that the finish he did, I think I can't remember who it was against. It might have been Burnley or someone. That it was a fantastic finish, but why did he do that? Like just go around him. To chip him from outside the box was not the best decision to make as a striker because it was a low percentage chance of scoring. But it looks great when you do it, and it just shows what is he thinking in those situations when he's through on goal, and he's not thinking the right things. He's panicking, it seems. And if he had gone round the goalkeeper and scored, it'd have been so much better for him because obviously now we've got the nonsense of him having to not having to, but him removing all Liverpool from his social media because he's been getting abuse from fans and his family been getting abuse as well, which is unacceptable. No matter what he's done in the game, no matter what anyone's done in the game, getting abuse on your socials or in person, it just shouldn't be happening. Yes, people want him to leave. Then if you want him to leave, then just let him leave, innit? Don't have to abuse the guy. So hopefully, I don't know, Klopp's the kind of person that might start in the next game just to get him back into a groove as well as get cross played because essentially we're not playing for anything. And ironically, you guys probably aren't. I don't think our result against Aston Villa will change your results. I could be wrong. It might help you a little bit, but happy with Robbo as well. He's had a really really tough spell since he's come off from injury. Has looked off the pace to the point where some people are happy for him to leave, be sold in the summer. I'm more inclined to keep him and let Simicas start afresh, and then we bring in a new person that proper pushes Robbo to the point where Robbo might be number two. And like you said, in terms of the midfield, I was happy to see Stefan Bajcetic come back, but you saw the difference between a young, energetic midfielder that's a 8/6 to an Endo who holds his position because we were so open because he was chasing. He was chasing a lot of things, and it looks good at times because he's jumped in, he's chased something, but then he's out of position at times, and it's like okay, now they're on us. Um, Obviously, we're 4-0 up, so we took our foot off the gas as well, so that goes into it. But happy, can't complain, can't complain. Last thing I'll ask: penalty or not? Had this. I've seen it all over Twitter. We didn't really think much of it when we were watching the game, but Joe Gomez's clearance when Brennan Johnson smashes into the post. Do you think, on looking back at it, that it should have been a penalty for dangerous play with of how high his foot was, or were you more like me? That's great defensive action.
Um, I understand why it's dangerous play, but in those situations, you're almost reacting as all you're thinking about is how can I get away? What's the easiest way for me to get rid of this ball? And it wouldn't have been feasible for Joe Gomez to really have gone with his head to try and clear it, if that makes sense, in that situation.
No, not at all.
And what would have more likely happened is that they probably both would have clashed heads rather than actually done anything about connecting with the ball
Mm.
just because of the way it was. I felt like it was a good clearance. It was obviously dangerous because Brennan Johnson actually put his head, like he actually challenged for it, which I was impressed with because there's times where I've seen him duck certain situations, and I was surprised that he actually went for that one, maybe because it was a great chance for him to get a goal. But I think in any other area of the pitch, you would normally get that given. And I
Yeah,
think that is where people get annoyed with the inconsistency of referees. Any foul that would normally be given outside the box should be given inside the box. I think there's situational, like we've seen people try and do a bicycle kick and the referee's given a free kick
yeah, yeah.
because a defender's
That
put
annoys
his
me.
head near the ball
That annoys
and all
me.
that sort of stuff. But like, I think if there's a connection, a clear connection, I can understand why it would be a foul. But like Brennan Johnson connects with the post more than he connects with anything else.
Mm.
So in that instance, I would have not given a pen. But I understand why it's dangerous because your foot's high, and if you do connect with a player, then yeah, it's a definite foul. But I felt like I don't feel like the action was dangerous in that instance, and rightly the referee didn't give a pen.
Okay, cool. Well, enough of our game. We'll move on to the real exciting part, or half of the exciting part of this season, how it's ending. Arsenal, Bournemouth, 3-0. First thing I will say, actually, back to a penalty. Was it a penalty? Yes or no? For me, nah, it's not a penalty. Goalkeeper's leg is there, cool, but Havertz clearly drags his leg into him and creates the contact. So for me, when a defender creates the contact rather than being contacted, for me, I always err on the side of that's not a penalty.
For what? With the way the keeper?
Yeah,
I think this one was different to Saka's because
it's
Havertz leaves his
yeah,
leg there, doesn't he?
yeah, yeah. So Havertz drags his leg over his shin. He literally drags it over his shin. The leg is
To
there.
me, when I saw, I think the keeper's action,
Mm.
he doesn't connect with the ball,
No, it doesn't.
and
Yeah.
his leg is in Havertz's path, so you are asking for trouble. As a defender, you'll be vexed, or as the goalkeeper, you'll be vexed you if the ref is given a pen for it. But I feel like because Havertz's path to running, well, his path to the ball is impeded by the goalkeeper's leg, even though he
He could
clearly
have got the
wants
ball
contact to
though.
be made with his leg.
Yeah, he could have just got he could have carried on running and scored. That's how I
But
see it.
let's be honest, no. But you know what? He wouldn't have because the angle was too
Yeah,
tight
true,
because of where he puts the ball.
true.
So I
Because
personally
he's looking for the
believe
pen.
that he's looking for the pen from day one,
Yeah,
even from before he gets with the ball.
he
He's
does it
looking
every
for a
game.
pen because he can see the goalkeepers coming out.
Yeah,
So like he's looking for it. But what's different about this is that his leg movement is his line of running isn't changed. It's like where Saka moved his leg to get connection with
no, yeah.
Neuer at the time. This time, the keeper's come out and his leg has gone into the path of Havertz's run. So he's basically put himself in the vulnerable position for Havertz to gain an advantage, and he takes it because he drags his leg and there's a connection and falls down.
Mm.
So
So penalty for you. Yeah?
yeah, it's a pen.
Okay,
The goalkeeper makes a mistake,
cool.
doesn't pull out.
Apart from that, you can't deny that Arsenal complete even before that. They should have had 2 or 3 goals before that. They completely dominated Bournemouth, and Bournemouth have been really good second half of the season. and Arsenal just showed another gear again.
I think Bournemouth's style of play favours the way Arsenal play because Bournemouth like to try and play football,
Mm,
but they don't have the same level of talent. They don't have the same level of talent to actually carry out what the style of football that they do. So Arsenal was always going to win. I feel was always going to win this game, and I just don't. I didn't see them dropping points here. This was not one of the games that I felt they would drop points.
yeah,
I think that Old Trafford game is going to be big, but the way Man United are
no,
playing, boy, I can't even see that being a problem either. To be honest with you.
no, I can't. Arsenal, I just see it. Arsenal win all the rest of the games, and Man City will win the rest of the games, and it'll just end up like that. Um,
Hmm.
I say I'm happy for, but Trossard is proving to be the signing that everyone thought a lot of people thought would be in January. I mean, when he went there in January last year, it was like, wow, that's a really good signing, and he's going to make a difference. For me, he's better than Martinelli, and he should be starting ahead of Martinelli. But obviously, Martinelli, when he's on form, he's almost unstoppable. So it's hard to drop him. But Trossard's left foot, right foot, play right wing, left wing, can play through the middle at times. He's just an excellent player, and it was a really good pickup from them because it wasn't even that expensive either. And he's come good at the right time for them. So and obviously Rice putting the icing on the cake and just had a fantastic season. Um, some people have him as the player of the year. Some people don't. Obviously, we'll do our player of the year at the end of the season. We'll do a show on that. So I won't reveal who I think mine is, or who mine is, not think it is, who mine is. But really good performance. Um, in terms of Bournemouth, it turns out they made the right decision in the end. Getting rid of what's his name? I forget his name now. The Wolves manager,
Gary
Gary
O'Neill.
O'Neill, and bringing in Areola because it looked shaky at the beginning, but he's got the best out of a lot of players, and Solanke being the main one. So I think they'll be happy with how their season ends, and they'll move on. So moving on to the next game, Man City versus ironically Wolves. It was actually kind of ridiculous. At one stage, I think Man City had 97% possession, like really early in the game. I mean, I know Gary Neal was in the stands because of his comments, um, but for those who forgot to put Haaland in their team,
All right, mate. All right, mate. I'm already. Yeah, let's not go there. My season has crashed. You know what? My fantasy league season is favourite Tottenham's. Real talk.
well,
Real talk. Started off decent and just fell off the pace. Missed one game week and it cost me big time.
granted it was two pens, but they battered them. It could have been more than 5-1.
It's typical though, Man City, man.
Pretty
No
expected.
one expects them to drop these kind of points here, realistically.
Haaland coming good at the right time. It's almost like he said, "Hold on, you guys are trying to actually challenge me for this golden boot. I'm not having that." And then just
Yeah, personally, I
woke
think
up.
he did. I think that's why he was vexed that he was coming off because I think he wanted
Yeah,
to break the record for most goals in the game, which I understand. I don't really know. I understand why, as a manager, you're going to take him off because you don't want to risk
no, 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 no. Bro, he's
any
done it every
injuries.
time. Every time he's been close to getting. I think he's got five before, and he could have got six, and he took him off. Every time he's close to this stuff, he takes him off. When there's games where he's not, he scores one goal and he plays 90 minutes. So I get it. Like, why keep me on the pitch when I'm playing 90 minutes and I've only got one goal and I can get five or six and you're taking me off. And he's got a week. It's not like he's got a game midweek. He's got a week into the next game. Yeah. So yeah, I feel his pain. As a striker, I'll be fuming as well. But Pep has his pace.
Well, he's obviously going to be, but yeah, I don't know what it is with Pep. Messi's his only favorite ever,
Mm,
and I don't think anyone else gets favoritism. I think that's basically what it is.
it's true, you know. Maybe Bernardo Silva does.
What gets
Yeah,
favoritism?
I remember watching I was watching one of their little things they do with players, and he was cast as the little teacher's pet, the one that
Oh
Pep
wow.
loves. They said, who did Pep love the most? And it was Ronaldo Silva. It's like his little son there. But you know, he plays centre midfield, he plays left wing, he plays 10. He's always playing. I think he even played left back one time. Remember?
Yeah, he did.
He plays
When
everywhere.
he was trying one of Pep specials,
Yeah,
mate.
bro. But no, Man City doing what we expect. Um, in terms of their fixtures, I've obviously said I don't see much ahead of them that's going to disturb them. Do you think Fulham can cause them any problems? The 12th
Yeah,
place off?
definitely. Fulham could cause them a problem. Fulham caused Arsenal problems, and I think they caused you two
Yeah,
problems. You beat them in the end, but they caused you problems. I think with Fulham, I don't see them beating you City, but I don't think it will
it's
be
a
a walk in the
what it is a
park.
draw in it for Arsenal. They just need City to draw us away from home. They're away from home both their next games against. Obviously, you're going to obviously say you got no chance on Tuesday. Um, and then obviously they've got West Ham at home, who obviously it'll be Moyes' last game, and Lopetegui coming in apparently. Will they send him off in a good way? I doubt it. If City need to win that game, I think they'll, pardon the pun, but I think they'll hammer them. You just see it happening. But yeah.
You can.
Okay, on to the final game. Not won't say much about it, but it was a battering. Crystal Palace, since they beat us, it seems like we just gave them so much confidence. We battered them, but they got an early goal and they held it, and
Hmm.
they destroyed United. What we will talk on, because obviously they got hammered. Carragher. So Carragher has come out,
Jerry Carragher
yeah,
is something special at times, mate. I tell you.
and said that he needs to not retire, but he needs to leave this league for his own sake. And I just sit there and think, you have no right to be talking like that. Not because of his ability, just that you have no right to be talking, telling players that you need to leave this league. You don't know what's going on in personal life that could be making how he's playing on the pitch slightly different. You don't know if he's carrying an injury, but he's pushing through it because he's been in and out of the team as well. Not just on the bench, as in out of the team, and then next week he's in, and out of the team, next week he's in. So he could be carrying an injury, but he's forcing his way through it. He's obviously tried to sugarcoat it, saying that he was never nowhere near his level as a footballer, etc., etc. He's won everything, but one of the greats of our era needs to know when to call it time and play at his new standard, basically, which he believes is MLS and Saudi. That is for cheeky.
It's very cheeky. In fact, it's not even cheeky. It's
Yeah,
disrespectful.
yeah, you're right. It is disrespectful.
It's not for Carragher for him to say that out loud on. For me, it's not for him to say that out loud on national TV.
Mm,
It might be a conversation that you have in a pub with your friends, with your family, on the phone, whatever. But for him to say that, especially when he would try to say from his perspective, yeah, I knew when it was my time was too late. Casemiro knows. Casemiro has been playing at the top level for the best part of 12 years of his career.
mm,
He's been at Real Madrid. He knows whether he is still capable of competing at this level. It's not for Carragher to say. The manager's been playing Casemiro. If Casemiro was done, he wouldn't have been playing. And I think you saw last season when Casemiro wasn't in the team, Man United were a shell of themselves. He was so important to them, and he kept getting silly suspensions because of some of the challenges that he
yeah,
makes. But he's always been like that.
yeah,
Like his challenges have always been ropey. The difference was he was at Real Madrid, where they get away with all sorts of dark arts. Let's be honest. And I just feel like in a team which is in as much disarray as Man United are, it's going to be difficult for someone like him to come in and make them immediately a better team because you don't have Modric and Cruz and Ramos when he was there,
Valverde.
Valverde, like Camavinga, all these guys that they've had at Real Madrid to basically help do the work that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Man United's midfield is not even close. They've got Matt Tominay, they've got a young Mainu, Bruno Fernandes. It's not the same. It's not the same level. So I think it's difficult for him in that team. I think Man United don't really have an identity. I think Ten Hag has, we've seen some of the things he's come out with doesn't make logical
That's
sense.
the most
I think he's
entertaining
trying to
thing.
save face a little
Yeah,
bit
it
with
is.
some of the things he comes out with, but at the same time, I felt Carragher was well past his station with the way that he came at Casemiro like that. You can criticize the performance, but
Yeah,
for you to go and tell man that I think it's time that you go to another league because I don't think you're capable of playing this league, nah, I don't rate that at all. And as I said, national TV, nah, it's not a conversation for you to be saying out to the paying public.
yeah.
I think that's one for private convo, if anything.
But back to the game. Credit to Palace because they played excellent. I mean, it's annoying for Palace because they're definitely going to lose either Elise or Eze. Because if what we're being told is true, that 60 million is the fee, someone will pay it for one, if not both. Different teams will pay for that. And there's talk of Elise going to Man U, and you sit there and you think he just played Man U. Why would you go there? If I was Elise, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna come play here next year. Like even if you're really confident in your own ability that you can make them better to a degree, like with the other offers he's gonna be getting, I would not be going Man U. So I'll be surprised. Obviously, money talks, but Man U have also decided that they're gonna change their pay structure, so not gonna be throwing money around it like they were before. So those two were just fantastic. The first goal from Elise, the way he dropped both Casemiro secondly, but first, what's his name, Yotto player, Ericsson. The way he dropped them, but then the defending was awful. They just literally parted like the Red Sea and just gave him a path to shoot.
Bro, soon as he beat Ericsson and Casemiro, no one laid a glove on him. No one even made there was no path of resistance. It was just he just ran. He didn't need to do anything else after that. He done a little nice piece of skill to beat Casemiro, and then literally just ran straight forward towards the edge of the box, and he kind of mishit it.
Yeah, he did.
I
He
think
did.
he was aiming for the corner, but
Yeah,
he definitely mishit that, and it trickles into the far corner, and you know it goes from bad to worst after that.
yeah. Because Casemiro,
Mateta,
but that
mate, he's a new
finish,
man.
that
He's a
finish.
new man. Weaker foot as well. I think he scored like six in a row or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
record
yeah,
record at
yeah.
the
He broke his own
moment.
record, 6 in a row. I think he's got like 8 in his last 11 games.
Mad.
And it says, obviously, I like to come back to Liverpool, etc. All the time, as you guys like to say. It, what a new manager can do for you. As good as Klopp is, and as much criticism, what do you call it, gets, um, Nunes gets, hopefully, the type of up form that Mateta's got is what we get from a new manager with Nunes. But that's for another day. But that's what made me think of. Look what a new manager's done for Mateta. Come in, made him look like. When he first came in, he hit the ground running when he first came. Then when that bubble burst, he's like any average striker. And
I think
now you're gone.
no, I'm gonna say like I know obviously from your point of view, a lot of people come for Nunez because of his lack of composure and some of the stuff that he tries to do, but like he's capable of scoring goals,
Mm,
and I think it just needs. Obviously, there's a lot of he's getting a lot of criticism right now, but I think once he gets his confidence back in the right way, and you know find a way to just tap into that's like we've seen him score goals, man.
yeah,
We've seen him score goals. I know Portugal's a different league. I know Spain is different, but he scored goals in that league, and he's scoring goals for you guys. He's just not scoring with the amount of chances that he's
yeah.
getting. He's not making the right decisions, and I think that can improve. He's not young, but he's young enough to
24.
get better. We've seen players get better from 24, especially as a striker, man. Sometimes you just like Torres. When Torres was at Atletico, he was not the Torres that he became at Liverpool. The Torres at Liverpool was much better than what he was at Atletico, and then when he left Liverpool, he was a shell of that. So you can see how yeah, how things can work differently at different clubs. But I think Nunes will come good for you. As much as a lot of Liverpool fans think that I'm probably chatting crap.
um, Ten Hag, is he done after that defeat? Is he literally dead man? He looked like a dead man walking, but do you think he's that may have turned their heads in for India?
Yeah, I heard him say something like, it's not about me, it's about the club. Da, 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 da. That's resignation talk. Not him resigning, but resignation, knowing that the jury's out on you,
Mm,
and because of I think their end to the season has been really, really bad. Even in their wins, you don't really feel like it's ever been a convincing
nah,
victory, and that is
snatching
the
wins.
thing that kind of goes against him a little bit. I think Man United need to. They obviously there's a lot of changes that happen in the back room,
Hmm.
and I think they just got to continue that with on the front end as well. Just kind of like what Tottenham have done. I think they need to do the same and just restart. And it's going to take them a while to get back to where they were. But after years of dominance, like let's be honest, man, teams have had to wait a number of years for them to get back to where
Yeah,
they were. Happens all the time. Liverpool had to wait 30 years to get back to anything like competing, and they come up against Man City, who have never had a period of dominance. So it just shows you, man, like these football works in cycles, and it's just not Manu's turn right now. But it could be again in 5, 10 years. Who knows? We'll see.
maybe
We
20 or
hope
30.
not.
Maybe 20 or 30.
We hope not. Let's be honest. But yeah, the Man U fans had a good run, man. It's time. It's time for someone else.
Yeah, I hear that. Okay, well, thanks once again, Leon, and thank you guys for listening, for watching. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like and subscribe if it's the first time you're watching. Take it easy.
Thanks all. Take it easy.